for daily ask Reddit. Men of Reddit, what's the most creepiest thing a woman has ever done to you? I had an ex-girlfriend stalk me for 5 years. I had a restraining order against her that included my grandparents. She had been bothering them and my parents, but I didn't think to include my sister because she lived in a different city. This woman stalked my sister and ended up approaching her at a music festival. She was wearing, this is so insane, one of those hats that has fake dreadlocks attached to it, and she was trying to pretend to be a stranger and get information from my sister. Now, keep in mind 1. She was white as duck. 2. That was the only thing she did to disguise herself. And 3. My sister ducking knew her already. It would be hilarious if not for the years of harassment and inconvenience she caused me. Every time I would move, she would send me something in the mail to let me know she had my address. One time it was a box with a flannel shirt, a half-empty bottle of cologne, a broken toy axe, a bundle of pubic hair, and an 11-page letter written in crayon duck. She was crazy. Met a girl at a bar and we ended up back at her place. We had sex and fell asleep. She seemed normal all night, and I saw no red flags at all. I definitely would have dated her again, until she went crazy. I woke up around 5 AM and started getting dressed to leave. I had to get home and get ready for work. She woke up while I was dressing and totally freaked out. She was screaming angrily, "You can't leave." I explained I needed to go to work and that I'd call her later. She was having none of that. Then she attacked. I literally had to physically fight my way out of her apartment with a few scratches on my arm for souvenirs. I have no idea what her deal was, and I never went back to the bar I met her in. This happened to a buddy of mine, except she threatened to call the police and say that he raped her if he didn't stay. He nervously left the apartment. She called the cops and pressed charges. He lost his job, his sanity, everything. She eventually admitted nothing happened, yet his life was already crumbled into pieces and his reputation ruined. She never suffered any consequences. Be careful out there. Probably not as exciting as most here, but still super fucking weird. I was staying at my friend's house, sleeping in his guest room. Friend is at work, his girlfriend is at home. One thing about this room is that it has a very heavy door that has to be held open by something super heavy or else it slams shut. Well, I sleep with the door closed. I wake up in the morning, and as I do every morning, I laid there for a bit longer before actually getting out of bed. Well, this time all of a sudden I see the door open. The light is still off, but the hallway light being on means I can see if someone's standing in the doorway. I have my eyes kind of open, and I can see that she's just standing there in the doorway, staring at me. I didn't move. I wanted to see WTF would happen, because this was thoroughly freaking me out. She just stood there for at least 10 minutes. Didn't look away, didn't walk around the room. I was laying at a weird angle where I could see her perfectly. She could see me, but she couldn't see that my eyes were half open. I thought she may have been in there to grab something, because there's a bunch of stuff in the closet, clothes, and such. Nope. 10 minutes I waited for her to do something, or to walk out. Finally I flinched and feigned waking up, and I heard her run out, and the door slam. I got up, went into the kitchen, and she was as bubbly as could be, acting like nothing happened. Acting like she didn't just spend 10 minutes watching me sleep. Girl I had seen for 2 dates had her best friend SMS me anonymously claiming we met in a bar the night before and offering to come over to my place. I rarely went to bars as I work night shift at the time, so I knew I hadn't met anyone at a bar. Eventually, after probing and pushing, I got the girl to confess. She said she was just testing to make sure I was trustworthy. Didn't see her again. I had some female friends who've done that. I'm a woman too. I was always like, really girl? You are that insecure? Stop doing this creepy BS. But the saddest part of this, I mean for them, this isn't an excuse at all, is that they were doing this in fear of getting cheated on or manipulated again by jerks. And they happened to turn into the same kind of jerks. Childish. I fell asleep sitting next to one of my friends on the way home from a school field trip in 12th grade. I woke up to her using my hand to play with herself. As I began to regain consciousness, she threw my hand at me and made a huge scene about it. I never talked to her about it. It bothers me to this day. Definitely top 3. I'm so pissed off about those kind of things. Like, if the situation was reverse and it was a guy using a girl's hand to beat his meat, it'd have been a whole scandal. But here, since she's a girl, she can get away with this. I want to break knees. I hope you'll get better, bro. It's honestly been Jesus. 2020 makes it 17 years ago. Christ, I'm old. But yeah, I never brought it up to her because she initially tried to make me out as some kind of bad guy, or as a joke, I guess. She didn't push it past the actual bus ride though. I had a friend of ours ask us about it a few years later. She was all like, I can't believe you pulled that shit on asterisk 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 back in 12th grade. I explained my side and moved on. But yeah, it's the principle of how things are perceived as being a predominantly male problem. I mean, we had a weird friendship as it was. She dated one of my best friends and we were always all together. But whatever. We're both grown to have fulfilling good lives, I suppose. It is what it is. I don't hold a grudge. Met a girl at a party. We flirted. Then we ended up in my bedroom. This was in my apartment. Heavy makeout. I suggest having sex. She declines. Heavier making out. Basically including anything that's not intercourse. I suggest having sex again. She declines. Fair enough. We stopped the making out and planned to see each other again. The day we were supposed to meet, she stood me up. I had cooked and it was already time to meet. She told me that she doesn't want to see me again because I wasn't pushy enough. She liked men who were less soft and gentle. She basically told me that when she said no, I shouldn't have listened.